Hi guys, how's it going? My name is Anife. For those of you that don't know me, for those of you that do, hello, welcome back. Thank you for joining me again. As I'm sure you could tell by the title, today's video is going to be all about base makeup. I've been getting a lot of comments about my base makeup and a lot of you guys have asked for this, so here it is. And I'm also going to be telling you my favorite products for each step, so moisturizers, foundations, powders, all that good stuff. If you guys watch my videos, then you know that I do struggle with some blemishes sometimes, and I think I do a pretty damn good job of covering them up. So yeah, let's get started. All right, now that I've brought you guys up close and personal, I'm just going to pin my hair back. In my opinion, the most important part of makeup is the base. So sure, we're doing base makeup, but I mean like the actual prepping of the skin. I'm doing this so much. I've just washed my face, so now I'm going to moisturize. And I have two moisturizers that I alternate between. They both leave my skin looking really dewy and really glowy. And for the base of my makeup, I really want a moisturizer that makes my skin just super glowy. During the day, I like to use the FENTY Skin Hydra Vizor. And I really like this moisturizer because not only does it make me look really glowy, but it also protects my skin from the sun, which is very important. You should be wearing SPF every day, and this just takes an extra step out of my routine. When the sun's down, I typically go in with the OLEHENRIKSEN C-Rush Brightening Cream. Which is what I'm going to be using right now because it's dark out. It gets dark at like 4 p.m. So next, I like to use an eye cream, and my favorite is the OLEHENRIKSEN Banana Bright Eye Cream. I take a little bit on my ring finger and I just put it underneath my eye. Not only are you helping to target fine lines under your eyes, but you're also really hydrating the area so that the products you layer on top don't crease. It is so important to have your skin be hydrated. And I do get creases in my smile line, so I like to apply it there as well. As you can see, I'm really glowy. I'm just gonna give this a few minutes to sink into the skin before applying anything else. Okay, it's been a few minutes. Now I'm going to move on to primer. There are two primers that I've been obsessed with lately. So the first is the Milk Hydro Grip. I made the mistake of getting the small one because I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it. I do, I love it. And the second is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is amazing and the price is insane. I think it's like $6, I'm not sure. So what I like to do is start off with the Milk Hydro Grip first. And I really like this primer because it's so sticky and I feel like it just helps all the product stick onto my face and just not move. Next, I like to go in with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and I just apply that wherever I have fine lines or pores. And this just helps really fill everything in so that when you're applying foundation on top, it just looks very smooth. If you watch my videos, you probably know that I really love the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. It is beautiful, it's full coverage, it lasts a long time, and it does make you look really flawless and airbrushed. That being said, no, it does not look like skin, because I feel like a lot of the time when I really like a foundation, I'm like, oh my god, it looks like skin, like you can't even tell. You can tell, but it's only because it makes you look so perfect. So I'm going to be using that today. Big shout out to the NARS Soft Matte Foundation as well. Love this. I did a whole review on it if you want to go watch that. It's so good. So full coverage, like amazing coverage. The finish is really beautiful as well, and it lasts a really long time. And this here used to be my absolute favorite foundation. This is the Tarte Rainforest with the Sea Water Foundation. This is the kind of foundation that looks like skin. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to wear this as much. I used to have better skin, so this was my all-time favorite, but now I'm sticking to full coverage. But if you don't have a lot to cover up, then this is beautiful. For the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation, I've just been mixing 7 Warm and 7 Neutral. To apply the foundation, I like to use one of two things. Either a very dense brush, this is the MORPHE M439, really love this. Or I like to use a sponge, this is the MORPHE sponge. I really like a beauty blender as well, but lately I've been reaching for this a lot more. It's just so much more affordable, and I really do like how it makes my skin look. I'm going to dip my brush into my little foundation mixture here. So I just like to pat it into the skin. Always, oh my god, this earring is gonna be so annoying. There we go. Always bring it down the neck. And also on my ear. Look at that coverage. Ooh. Always buff it into the hairline as well. And I also like to pat it onto my eyelids. Because the foundation is the actual base of the skin, I blend it forever. I really want to make sure that it is perfect. Even though this is a matte foundation, see how glowy I look? That is what I want. I have combination oily skin, so I want a foundation that is going to stay on all day, which is usually a matte foundation, but I still want to look glowy. Did you see that? Exactly what I want. Coverage is looking pretty good, but usually if I have a few spots that are still showing through, I like to take a little bit of the foundation, and then I will either take a brush like this one, this is a Morphe E22, and dab over the spots. And then just blend out the edges. I'll also take my beauty blender, dip into the foundation with a very little amount of product, and then just go over the spots. Now I'm going to contour. I do switch this up. Sometimes I'll use a cream contour. My favorite is the Huda Beauty Tantour. I use the shade Light, and I really like this because it's a cream product, so it really adds to that glow I've been talking about. But if I just want to do a powder contour, I really like the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is the deep bronzer. I love this. It's a beautiful shade for bronzer, but also for contour, and it has a bit of a sheen to it, which adds to that glow. I do prefer when my contour has that like sheen to it, just because that's how skin naturally is when it's healthy and glowing. So I do prefer that over just like a matte contour. I am going to be using the Tantour today. To apply it, I'm just going to use a brush like this one. This is the Sigma Large Concealer F65, and I've been seeing a lot of people apply their contour like really high up here. I feel like it looks good when you're watching it on camera, but I tried it out because I was like, oh my god, wow. It just didn't look good because you could see that my actual cheekbone shadow is down here, so then I just had like brown up here and it just did not look good. So what I like to do instead is apply the product right over where the natural contour is. And I'm going to be careful here because I do have a lot of blemishes underneath, so I don't want to move around the foundation. But yeah, I just like to apply it right there, and then I'll blend it up. To blend out the jaw, I'm going to use a Morphe M523, and I'm going to use the same brush for the forehead as well. And again, I'm just going to blend that into my hairline. But for the cheekbone here, I'm actually just going to use a sponge. Like I said, I've got a lot of blemishes going on under here, so I don't want to move around the foundation by blending it too harshly with the brush. Okay, now I'm going to contour my nose. I'm going to try to explain this as best as I can. However, people's noses are such different shapes, so it's so hard for me to be like, oh yeah, this is how you should do it when everyone's nose is different. But I'm going to show you how I do it and why I do it that way, and maybe that'll be helpful. For my nose, I'm going to take a smaller brush. This is a concealer brush I got from Sephora years ago, but any smaller brush will do. And I want to make it look like I have a little button nose, so what I'm going to do is apply it here, shorten my nose a little bit. I'm going to apply it here as well, and then in a line down the bridge. And then you're going to connect it to your eyebrow, and then I bring it down on the sides here. Blend it down. Same thing on the other side. So now I'm left with what looks like an exclamation down my nose. And then to blend it, I just like to use this brush and blend it down. Now I'm going to take a bigger fluffy brush. This is a Morphe E27, and I'm going to blend. And what's really going to complete the nose contour is our concealer. So at the moment, I'm really into the Hourglass Vanish Concealer. This is in the shade Sepia. It's just beautiful, the finish, the coverage, everything is so nice. I also really love the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I am pretty much out of this one. I'm actually waiting on my Sephora order with a new one. So I'm going to be using the Hourglass today, but the NARS, it honestly does not crease. When I did my NARS Soft Matte Foundation review, I was wearing this as well. And at the end of the 12 hours, it looked so nice still. It hadn't creased at all. So this is amazing. I use the shade Nougatine. But what I'm going to do is just take my concealer, and from the inner corner, I'm going to drag it down a little bit just to blend that nose contour. And then in the inner corner, bring it up And this is just gonna give me a little bit of a lift, a little bit on the chin. And I really like this applicator. It picks up so much product. I've only dipped in once and look how far it's gotten me. And now the nose in that same little exclamation. Because I need so much coverage under my eyes just to cover those bags, I'm going to let this sit and just start blending out everything else. With any excess, I'm just gonna apply it right here, just to kind of lift this area as well. But I don't like to apply the concealer directly on there because then it's too much, I find. And then to blend my under eyes, I'm just gonna start blending the edge, again, just to give it some more time to get tacky and give me some good coverage. See, haven't blended it out yet, gotta move on to the other eye. Now I'm just gonna come back and blend it entirely. Because this is so thick, I can't really get the inner corner. So I'm just gonna go in with a blending brush and blend that. I really need to invest in one of those little beauty blenders, but I feel like I always forget. It's never something I remember to get. And I will also just use this brush to pat everything in. I feel like I want my under eyes to be a little bit brighter, so what I'm gonna do is just take a little bit more of that concealer, and I'm not gonna bring it too high up because I already have the first layer, so if I add a second, it's just going to crease and look terrible, so I'm just adding it right here. I'm gonna return some texts while that gets tacky. Be right back. Okay, I think it's been enough time. Just going to blend that. Is that not so much better? All right, now I'm going to set everything with powder. So I have 3 powders in front of me that I really, really like. The first is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. Such a long name for no reason. This is in the shade Banana Bread. I really love a yellow powder for under the eyes. It just makes everything look so much brighter. This one is a pretty light yellow. I also have the Laura Mercier Translucent Honey. Love this as well. It's definitely a darker yellow than the Huda. I wish I could show you without making a huge mess. Focus. Could you tell? That's the best I can do. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna apply one under one eye and then one under the other. So what I like to do is just take that on my sponge, tap off the excess on the lid here. And now I'm going to, I don't really bake, I just press the product into the skin. This is the Huda, by the way. So I'm gonna go under the eye, bring it up to the side of the nose, up here where I applied the concealer, smile lines, and then my chin as well. Now on the other side, I'm gonna use the Laura Mercier Honey Translucent Powder. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's very slight. This is only slightly lighter, but I can tell in person more than I can on camera. And then the forehead as well. Pretty much anywhere I applied concealer. Next, I'm going to go over where I contoured with some bronzer. My favorite bronzer to do that with is the Marc Jacobs Tantric Bronzer. Oh, look at my fingerprints all over that. But yeah, I love this bronzer. It's so blendable. There's so much, oh my God, this is a disaster. It's so blendable. There's so much product inside. It's lasted me so long. And I believe it's on sale right now on Sephora, so. I'm just going to go in with a Morphe E3 and just pat it on top. Picking up the Morphe E27 again, I'm going to take that and just go over the nose contour as well. Okay, now it's time for blush. My 2 favorites are Milani Luminoso. It's just this beautiful color here, and it's got a beautiful sheen to it. And the second is MAC Spring Sheen. Similar vibes. This one's just a little bit darker. I'm gonna use Luminoso today because I really like this one. And I'm just gonna use a blush brush. This one is from Morphe. It does not have a name, but it just looks like that. And I'm going to apply that on my cheekbones to lift the face. We're really big on lifting the face these days, so I'm not gonna do the apples of the cheeks. I'm just gonna focus it up here on the cheekbone and temple. And if you're feeling cute, you could put some on your nose as well. I don't always do that, but sometimes I like to spice things up. Before I go in with the highlighter, I do like to set my face with a setting spray. This is for two reasons. One, if I'm using a liquidy or cream highlighter, I prefer to apply it on a wet base. But if I'm using a powder highlighter, then the wetness of the setting spray just makes it a lot brighter. Again, if you watch my videos, you know that I'm obsessed with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This just makes your skin look so good. And now I'm going to take my sponge and just pat it into the skin. And I just love the finish. It just makes me go from looking powdery to beautiful, perfect, flawless. And then for long wear, I like to use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This makes your makeup last so long, helps it be transfer proof. Really good product. I typically do prefer to use this after I'm done my whole face, but I'm not gonna be recording eyebrows, eyes, and lips, just face today, so thought I'd just do it now. We're almost done. Last step is highlighter. My favorite highlighter I actually cannot share with you guys yet. It was sent to me, but it hasn't been released yet, so I can't show it to you guys, but as soon as I can tell you about it, I will. I just feel like I can't sit here and be like, this is my favorite highlighter, when that is a lie. It is not my favorite highlighter. But a good second is the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand. This here. So what I like to do is just take it on my finger. Ooh, it is really expensive for not a lot of product, but this has honestly lasted me a really long time. So I just take some on my finger and pat that into the skin. So I like to put it on my cheekbone and then up here on my forehead a little bit. Ooh, I love that. Sometimes though, I am feeling a bit more of an intense highlight, and when I do want that, there are two highlighters I know will never fail me. One is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade Golden Flower Crown. It's such a beautiful color. I love highlighters like this, and I actually always use a powder highlighter for my nose anyway, so I'm just gonna pick this up with a little brush like this one. This is a Morphe M213, tip of the nose, and the bridge. Look at that nose, cute as a button. Honorable mention though to the MAC highlighter in Whisper of Guilt. It's amazing, it's just a lot more expensive. Like, this pretty much does the exact same job and it's a fraction of the price, so. All right, I'm gonna do my eyebrows, my eyes, and my lips, and I will be back to say goodbye. All right, I'm back. I'm all glammed up for no reason at all, by the way. I'm just gonna be taking this off right after I finish filming, but I find it really calming to do my makeup, so, and I think it turned out really good. It's kind of a shame that I'm not going anywhere, right? But yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you did. Also, feel free to leave me a comment. I love chatting with you guys in the comments. As always, if you like this vibe, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.